If you're over 60, there's a phrase you may have said to yourself more than once. It's just part of getting older. A little discomfort at night, a flutter in the chest, waking up tired even after 7 hours in bed. You chalk it up to age, maybe even laugh it off. But what if those small signs weren't harmless? What if they were warnings? Recent research has revealed something alarming. As we grow older, our nighttime routines become more critical than ever. The heart, which has served us tirelessly for decades, enters its most vulnerable state when we sleep. While you think your body's resting, your nervous system is making microscopic adjustments. Your blood pressure dips, your breathing slows, and during these quiet hours, your heart is either recovering or being pushed to the brink without you knowing. Here's the truth. More heart attacks occur between midnight and 6 a.m. than any other time of day. And the scary part? Many of them strike silently while we're asleep. One wrong habit, a late meal, the wrong sleeping position, a skipped dose, or even just a few sips of alcohol, can make all the difference. But if that sounds overwhelming, take a deep breath. You're not powerless, and you're definitely not alone. In the next few minutes, we're going to walk through 8 nighttime habits that might seem innocent, but are quietly increasing your risk of heart trouble. More importantly, I'll show you what to do instead, so that tonight you can rest knowing your heart is safe. Before we dive in, let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly examined your bedtime habits? Not just to sleep better, but to protect your heart. Tonight, I want to do more than give you another checklist. I want to count down the 8 most dangerous nighttime habits for people over 60. Not the obvious stuff. These are things many of us do every evening without a second thought. Habits we've had for years. Some even feel comforting. But as you'll see, these quiet routines might be putting serious, silent stress on your heart. And when we get to number 1, you'll realize just how easy it is to miss the most dangerous habit of all. Let's count them down, one by one. And with each step, you'll gain the power to change something small. Something that could mean everything. Let's start with something that might surprise you. A small glass of wine or a nightcap before bed. It seems harmless. For many, it's a ritual, a way to unwind, take the edge off, fall asleep faster. But here's the twist. Even one drink before bedtime can silently sabotage your heart. You see, alcohol doesn't just help you relax, it alters how your entire nervous system functions during the night. Instead of calming your heart, it can increase your heart rate, disrupt your natural rhythm, and reduce your body's ability to enter deep, restorative sleep. That's the exact stage where your heart does most of its overnight healing. And if you're over 60, your heart simply doesn't bounce back the way it used to. The same drink that felt fine at 40 now taxes your body more. Alcohol also dehydrates you, which thickens your blood slightly, making your heart work harder while you sleep. A 2025 study even found that just 1 to 2 drinks before bed raised overnight heart rate by an average of 3 beats per minute. A small number, but one that reflects ongoing stress on your autonomic nervous system. And when that stress happens night after night, the risk begins to climb. Instead of letting alcohol help you fall asleep, think long term. Would you rather fall asleep faster or give your heart the true rest it deserves? Try swapping that glass of wine with a warm cup of herbal tea or just water with a slice of lemon. These soothe your body without the side effects. Remember, the goal isn't to cut out every pleasure. It's to choose which ones serve your heart, not strain it. Now let's talk about your dinner plate. Many people over 60 enjoy a hearty evening meal. It's comforting, maybe the most satisfying part of the day, but eating a heavy dinner too late at night can quietly overload your heart. Why? Because digestion is an energy-intensive process. When you eat a large meal close to bedtime, your body doesn't get the chance to slow down. Instead of preparing for rest, your system ramps up to handle the food. Blood flow is redirected toward the stomach, and your heart has to pump harder to support that demand. This isn't just about feeling full or uncomfortable. Late heavy meals keep your heart rate elevated and your blood pressure higher at the exact time they should be dropping. And that's a problem. If the food is high in fat or salt, which is common in comfort meals, it can increase inflammation, raise cholesterol, and thicken your blood slightly. For someone in their 60s or 70s, this combination can quietly increase the risk of nighttime chest discomfort, arrhythmias, or even an early morning heart attack. You might have noticed this before, lying in bed with a full belly, feeling heartburn, bloating, or shortness of breath. Those are more than annoyances. They're signs that your heart is working overtime when it should be resting. Instead of a big late dinner, try finishing your last full meal at least 3 hours before bed. Choose lighter, heart-friendly options: steamed vegetables, a bowl of soup, or a small salad with protein. Remember, you don't need to go to bed hungry. You just need to go to bed without making your heart pull an overnight shift it didn't sign up for. If your doctor has recommended a CPAP or other breathing device, you might know how uncomfortable it can be at first. Maybe the straps dig in. Maybe the air pressure feels strange. Or maybe you tell yourself, I'll just skip it tonight. But if you're over 60, skipping that device, even for one night, could quietly place your heart at serious risk. Sleep apnea, especially in older adults, causes your breathing to stop and start during the night. Each time your body struggles for air, your oxygen levels drop. And what happens next? Your heart panics. It beats faster, harder, trying to get oxygen where it's needed. That's not just stressful, it's dangerous. In fact, one of the largest studies ever conducted on this topic followed over 880,000 seniors on Medicare. It found that older adults with sleep apnea who used a breathing device consistently had 47% lower risk of dying and 10% lower risk of major heart events compared to those who skipped it. That's not a small number. That's life-changing. The problem is, most of these nighttime events happen silently. You don't wake up gasping. You don't remember the moments your heart had to go into overdrive. But they add up night after night. If you've been prescribed a device, give yourself time to adjust. Use it every night, even when it feels inconvenient. And if you suspect you might have undiagnosed sleep apnea, snoring, waking up tired, feeling groggy, ask your doctor for a sleep study. You may not feel it happening, but every night you skip that machine, your heart feels the cost. Let's talk about something that doesn't sound like a heart issue, but absolutely can become one: sleeping flat on your back if you have acid reflux. Many people over 60 experience occasional heartburn. Maybe it's a burning sensation in the throat. Maybe it's a bitter taste that wakes you up, or just a heaviness in your chest when you lie down. It feels like a digestive issue, and in many ways it is. But here's what's often missed. When acid backs up into your esophagus while you're lying flat, it doesn't just irritate your throat. It can stimulate nerves that connect to your heart. That's why some people feel chest tightness, shortness of breath, or irregular heartbeat at night, and think it's just indigestion. In reality, it might be your heart reacting to acid irritation. Sleeping flat on your back allows gravity to work against you. It makes it easier for stomach acid to rise and linger. For seniors, this can trigger not only discomfort, but also a cascade of nervous system responses that stress the heart, especially dangerous during sleep, when the heart should be recovering. So what's the fix? It's simple. Elevate the head of your bed by 6 to 8 inches, or use a wedge pillow to prop yourself at a gentle incline. This slight elevation helps keep stomach acid where it belongs and eases pressure on your chest. Also, avoid spicy, acidic, or fatty foods for dinner, especially within 3 hours of bedtime. Instead of lying flat and fighting your body all night, change your position and let gravity be your ally. Small shift, big difference. Sleep doesn't come easy for everyone, especially as we get older. So it's no surprise that many seniors reach for an over-the-counter sleep aid, something to help them turn off and drift away. But what if the very pills meant to help you sleep were actually harming your heart? Here's what most people don't realize. Many common sleep medications, especially those with diphenhydramine or doxylamine, can interfere with the body's natural rhythms. They may slow your heart rate, lower oxygen saturation, or even disrupt the balance of electrolytes that keep your heartbeat steady. For someone over 60, that's not a minor risk. Your body's already working harder to maintain stability at night. Add a sedative, and you increase the chance of irregular heart rhythms, shallow breathing, or unexpected drops in blood pressure, particularly during REM sleep, when your nervous system is more active. Even worse, these pills can leave you groggy, confused, or dizzy when you wake up, raising your risk of falls or nighttime injuries. And if you're taking medications for blood pressure, cholesterol, or heart rhythm, sleep aids may interact in ways that amplify those dangers. Studies have shown that long-term use of OTC sleep aids in older adults is linked to greater cognitive decline, increased risk of falls, and yes, higher risk of cardiac events. So what's the alternative? Try building a bedtime routine that doesn't rely on a pill. Dim the lights, turn off screens, listen to calming music, keep your room cool. And if sleep still feels out of reach, speak with your doctor about safer, non-sedating options. Because sleep should heal you, not put your heart at risk. Let's be honest, many of us have gotten into the habit of falling asleep with the TV on. It might feel like background noise or even comfort, but if you're watching late-night news, crime shows, or anything filled with tension, your heart could be paying the price long after the screen goes dark. Here's why. Stressful media, even if it's fictional, triggers your brain's fight or flight response. It can raise your cortisol levels, tighten your blood vessels, and elevate your heart rate. The body doesn't always know the difference between a real threat and one on TV. So if you're ending your night with violence, fear, or political shouting matches, your nervous system reacts like there's danger in the room. And for someone over 60, that response is slower to shut off. Instead of gently easing into sleep, your body stays in a mild state of alertness. You might still fall asleep, but your heart doesn't rest. Studies show that nighttime stress can lead to higher blood pressure through the night, poorer sleep quality, and increased risk of early morning cardiac events. It's not just theory. In our own community, people have seen this firsthand. One viewer shared how her father in his 70s became irritable and anxious from nightly news cycles, then started experiencing irregular heartbeats during sleep. So what can you do instead? Try switching the screen for a softer rhythm. Read a light book, put on instrumental music, or just sit quietly with a warm drink. Your heart doesn't need one more emergency update before bed. It needs peace. Because rest isn't just about closing your eyes. It's about closing the door in stress. Blood pressure is something most people monitor during the day, but what happens to it at night matters just as much, if not more. For people over 60, this is one of the most overlooked and most dangerous heart health blind spots. Normally, blood pressure should dip at night. It's a natural rhythm, part of how the body repairs and recovers while you sleep. But in many older adults, this dipping doesn't happen. In some cases, blood pressure even rises overnight, a condition known as non-dipping. And it's a silent threat. You won't feel it. There are no symptoms. But research shows that people whose blood pressure stays high during sleep have a significantly higher risk of heart attacks, strokes, and even kidney damage. One major study revealed that nighttime systolic pressure is a stronger predictor of heart problems than daytime readings. So what causes this? Sometimes it's about timing. Taking your blood pressure medication too early in the day might leave you unprotected by night. A recent trial found that patients who align their medication with their body's natural rhythm, what's called their chronotype, had better heart outcomes. Other times, it's about awareness. Many seniors simply don't know their nighttime numbers. They check blood pressure in the morning, maybe in the afternoon, but never before bed. What can you do? First, speak with your doctor about whether nighttime monitoring is right for you. Ask if a home device or a 24-hour ambulatory monitor makes sense. Second, discuss medication timing. Don't change it on your own, but bring up the question, should you be taking your dose at night instead of morning? Because while your heart works 24/7, your protection shouldn't stop at bedtime. We often treat sleep like something we can sacrifice. One late night here, a few early mornings there. It adds up, but we tell ourselves we'll catch up later. But for people over 60, consistently sleeping less than 5 hours a night can quietly erode your heart's strength, night after night. Why is this so dangerous? Sleep is the time when your body repairs, recalibrates, and most importantly, gives your heart a break. During deep sleep, your heart rate slows, blood pressure drops, and inflammation reduces. It's like a nightly tune-up. But when sleep is cut short, that recovery window slams shut. Studies show that seniors who sleep less than 5 hours per night have higher levels of stress hormones like cortisol, elevated blood pressure, and increased inflammation. Three major ingredients in the recipe for heart disease, but there's more. Even if you hit the 5-hour mark, irregular sleep patterns can still pose a risk. One large study using UK Biobank data found that people with erratic sleep schedules, meaning their bedtimes and wake times varied significantly, had up to a 26% higher risk of heart disease, even if they got enough sleep on paper. Your heart thrives on rhythm. Disrupt it too often, and the system begins to fray. So what can you do? Aim for 7 to 8 hours of consistent, high-quality sleep each night. Try going to bed and waking up at the same time daily, even on weekends. Keep your room cool, dark, and free of screens. Avoid caffeine late in the day. And if you struggle with staying asleep, speak with your doctor. There may be underlying conditions like sleep apnea, restless legs, or medication effects that can be addressed. Think of it this way. Skipping sleep is like skipping heart medicine. One restless night might not break you, but a pattern of short sleep, that's a risk no one should ignore. Now you've seen them. 8 habits that may seem small, even harmless, but can quietly put your heart at risk each night. Not all at once, not with flashing warnings, but slowly, repeatedly, silently. You may be thinking, how can I change all of this? The good news is, you don't have to. Not overnight. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be aware. Pick one habit, just one. Maybe you'll stop drinking alcohol before bed. Maybe you'll shift your dinner earlier. Or maybe tonight you'll finally dust off that breathing device and give it another try. Each small change is a quiet gift to your heart, because your heart has carried you through every day of your life. It's been there during joy, sorrow, work, and rest. It deserves your care now, especially when you sleep. Instead of asking, what do I need to stop doing? Try asking this, what does my heart need to heal tonight? Let that question guide you, not just for one night, but for many to come. Take care, sleep well, and may tomorrow greet you with more strength, peace, and the quiet reward of knowing you protected your heart.